Hey guys, this is Social Fire and I'm back today showcasing 100% Toppo. So we're going to get started here with the stats first. HP is 12,736, attack is 13,148, and defense is 10,395. His level is 120 and his leader skill is all types category Key +2 and HP attack and defense is plus 70%. His super attack Sphere of Destruction causes supreme damage to the enemy and raises allies' attack by 25% for 1 turn. His passive skill Power from Confirmed Resolution is all allies' attack and defense plus 35% and all enemies' defense minus 50%. His link skills include Supreme Warrior, which is Key +1, Tough as Nails, which is defense plus 1500, Shocking Speed, which gives Key +2, Rival Duo, which is attack plus 10% when also attacked enemies' defense is minus 15%, Godly Powers attack plus 15%, Tournament of Power is Key +3, and Fierce Battle is attack plus 15%. His categories are Universe Survival Saga and Realm of Gods, and his 12 key multiplier is 145%. So Toppo is one of those units currently featured on the Weekend Summons banner for Global. So he's been on several other banners as well, and I finally picked up my last copy for him from the Weekend Summons, so I really wanted to showcase him finally at 100%. So he's actually a unit that I use fairly often as a support unit or different teams, and you may have seen him in some of my showcases as well. So he's also a unit that actually received an Awakening last year, so he has improved a bit. Now keep in mind though, Toppo is very much a support unit, so he is not going to be putting out crazy amounts of damage. That's just not going to happen with this unit. At best, I got moderate damage out of him, often ranging between maybe 300,000, 600,000, around that area there. However, he is much more valuable as a support unit, so you're really not including him to put out heavy numbers anyways. And you're basically including him on your teams with heavy hitters so he can support them. He raises attack and defense for all allies, but he also reduces enemy defense, so he'll really open the way for your harder hitting units like Ultra Instinct Goku to really do some damage. Now he only has 2 categories, so I chose to run him on a Realm of Gods team. This is probably one of my favorite categories to run. Realm of Gods and Potara are like 2 of my favorites, so I wanted to run him again on Realm of Gods, and he can be a really valuable asset to this category. I mean, to many of the units in this category, they're going to be very strong and putting out heavy damage, so he's going to do a great job supporting them. For this team in particular, I included Ultra Instinct Goku and Jiren, again, most often paired with those 2. And they both, again, they're going to hit really hard, so I wanted to, in the beginning, show how well he would do on his own, just kind of get an idea of his numbers, and then also show how he's helping those units as well. I also included other units that shared similar links like Rival Duo or Godly Powers, so you can see Agility Godku, for instance, the free-to-play Supreme Kai, and Strength Super Saiyan God Vegeta. So since Ultra Instinct Goku puts out a lot of damage again in the beginning, I was trying to be careful because he would clear some of those bosses before Toppo had a chance to attack. So I did try to focus again a little more on Toppo at that point. But you can kind of get an idea of how he supports those around him as well. So I mean, Toppo could also really be beneficial on a Universe Survival team, and I have used him on that team setup also. So there's a lot of great units that you can also link him up with there. And if you don't have Strength Kaba, you could even include Toppo on like a mono strength team. So when building a team, there are a few good units you can really pair him with. We'll take a look at this Dokkan mode here first, which I missed you on. So here, for instance, again, he's paired up with Jiren, who's probably one of his best linking buddies. Alright, so with that Dokkan mode C, so 497,000 no criticals Dokkan mode again. We're not really relying on him for the numbers though. So again, Jiren, being one of his better linking buddies, they're both going to share attack and healings like Godly Power, Tournament of Power, and Fierce Battle. Although after Toppo's Awakening, they no longer share Hero of Justice. So pairing them together will still ensure both super easily, and Toppo will help Jiren put out some great damage. So Jiren again is one of those heavy hitters that's great to pair them up together. Toppo being a support unit will really boost his numbers. And they also share both categories, so you can pair them up on either team setup. Ultra Instinct Goku is another heavy hitting unit that pairs well with Toppo. They also share attacking key links like Godly Power, Tournament of Power, and Fierce Battle. Like Toppo 2, they also share both categories, and Goku will benefit from his supportive passive. Transforming Vegeta is another one if you're lucky enough to have him, which I am not. He's also a great option as well. When Vegeta transforms especially, they will both share Godly Power and Fierce Battle. And Vegeta gains damage with keys collected, so Toppo can add to that with his passive, just really help boost his overall damage. I mean, even units that don't share many links with Toppo can still benefit. They benefit from his passive, so there's a lot of options as far as who you can pair him up with. Now, for hidden potential, I chose to go with 15 additional attacks and 11 criticals. Toppo's never going to put out insane damage, so I wouldn't worry about trying to put everything in the criticals to help him out with that. And plus, with additionals, he gets another super attack that will further increase allies' attack by another 25%, so it's beneficial to have additionals on him as well. And personally, I would say his defense is good enough that you really don't need to spec into evasion for him. Often, I don't really recommend evasion for many units, it just depends, but I really wouldn't recommend it in this situation, but really it's personal preference. As far as raising his SA as well, he does not have a farmable SA, but this is one of those units where there also isn't too much need to invest many Kais into him. You're really not getting much benefit from maxing out his SA. He's mainly meant for being a support unit. You're not relying on him for those numbers. So you're not relying on his damage, and it's really up to you. For the sake of this showcase, I did feed him Kais to boost his SA, which I'm already regretting. But again, I wanted to just show what he is with like 100% and max SA, but it really didn't improve his damage that much. Again, it's really a personal preference here, but you would be fine just maxing him out in his potential and leaving his SA wherever you prefer. I mean, this is a unit that I've had for a while, so I was actually excited to get that last copy. I've been collecting him for a while. I picked him up pretty early on, and he really helped me in my earlier team builds and showcases actually, because he is a great support unit. So I have actually used him quite a bit. I mean, overall, Toppo is a great support unit. I mean, his passive and super attack make him incredibly useful, especially on a Realm of Gods team like you see here. And we'll take a look at this second Dokkan mode here, just to get an idea. Again, no crazy numbers coming, but take a look, and again, he is paired up with Jiren as well. I mean, his super attack animation is not bad either. Alright, so 885,000, no criticals, but that's about the maximum I managed to get out of him, and that is with a Dokkan mode. And then 220,000, so you guys kind of get an idea of his range here. I mean, as I said before, Realm of Gods is probably the team I'm going to use him most often on, but he is great for Universe Survival Saga as well. I mean, if Toppo supers before his allies too, do keep in mind that this will further increase their damage, since his super will boost their attack by 25% for one turn. For linking purposes, often I did keep him in the middle for this video, just to try to get the maximum I could out of him. But often it may be good to keep him either on rotation or in the first slot. But if you pair him with some heavy hitters, he will help them do really solid damage. I mean, despite the fact that he doesn't hit hard, Toppo is probably one of the better support units in the game that you can add to your team. I mean, he's definitely up there, and he actually has decent links as well. Even though him losing Hero of Justice with that Awakening, it did kind of affect how well he linked up with certain units. Like, Dispo had Hero of Justice, several other units, the free-to-play Trunks and Marin unit, they also had that, and they no longer link up as well, but I mean, it's still really, you're mainly using him for his passive, so it's not that big a deal. I mean, either way, I do feel that Toppo is a bit underrated and a great support unit. So anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Let me know in the comments what you think of this unit, if you happen to use him on certain teams, if you're a fan. Anyways, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.